A Portage initiative to decriminalize marijuana fails by only a few votes. Find out what the legislation could mean in the future for the Kent community.
COVID-19 cases continue to spike in Ohio as we head into the fall semester. Why hospitals are seeing more kids with COVID than before.
And Tropical Storm Nicholas is expected to make landfall tonight in areas already ravaged by Hurricane Ida. Hear how the storm could affect the South.
Fans prepare to root for a local contestant who's attempting to set a new Jeopardy record tonight. Will he keep his winning streak? TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. Welcome to TV2's first live newscast of the fall. I'm Maddy Haberberger.
And I'm Gabby Jonas. Students are back on campus this fall.
That's right, and nothing says the start of the fall semester like the first home KSU football game. Our very own Mergen breaks down the results of Saturday's huge victory. What's up, Matt?
Thanks, guys. Kent State had their first home game on Saturday this past weekend, and students have never been hungrier for some Kent State football. There was a great showing before the game with a bunch of students tailgating in the Dick Stadium parking lot getting ready for the game. I'll have more on the game and other sports happenings later in the show, so stick around for now. I'm Mergen. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Matt. Now, students are psyched to be back on campus for the fall semester, but operations at the university have had to adapt to fit this new normal. While in-person instruction resumed for many courses, face coverings are still required inside of all university buildings. The university will also require all students, faculty, and staff to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 by December 20th. Exemptions will be considered for medical and religious or personal reasons. And with those restrictions in place, university activities and events have been able to resume. KSU kickoff was back in person this fall, and here the class of 2025 is pictured in its traditional first-year class picture. Senior Vice President of Student Affairs, Lamar Hilton, is encouraging the Kent State community to participate once again in Blue and Gold Fridays, when the Kent State community decks themselves out in their Kent State blue and gold to show their school spirit and pride.
It's a relatively normal life, you know, like even though, like after COVID and everything, it's kind of nice to like see people everywhere and have that experience.
I'm super glad to be back. Honestly, it's really good to finally, you know, instead of just sitting in your room staring at a screen, you know, being out of the remote schooling and everything, it makes, you know, being personable again.
A ballot initiative to decriminalize the usage of up to 200 grams of marijuana failed to pass this past Wednesday. The initiative lost by 4 signatures at the Portage County Board of Elections. In Kent, the possession of under 100 grams is considered a misdemeanor, following a $150 fine, though prosecutors may handle individual cases differently. In order for this ballot to have been passed, Franklin Township resident Mike Frick needed to have 806 valid signatures. Frick only received 802. A 19-year-old college student's unsolved murder is being revisited after 5 years. Investigators say that the victim was shot and killed at a house party in Franklin Township, May of 2017. Police officials are working on finding answers with the information provided. There are no clear suspects to pursue a prosecution at this time, but officials are working to help the mother of the victim and find answers as soon as possible.
Tropical Storm Nicholas is making its way toward Texas and Louisiana, threatening to further drench the region that's still reeling from Hurricane Ida. A hurricane watch is in effect across Texas's southern coast, with risk of sustained winds over 75 miles per hour. And more than 9 million people are under flood watch in Texas and Louisiana, which is under a state of emergency. Nicholas is expected to make landfall later this evening.
Hello, Portage County. I'm TV2 weather anchor Alexa Blakely with your currently in Kent forecast. So today in Kent, we have a high of 83, but it feels like 86 out. We also are mostly cloudy. We have a dew point of 67 degrees. Our wind is going southwest at 8 miles per hour. We have a humidity of 59% and visibility of 9 miles. For our weather forecast in Ohio right now, we have 87 degrees in Lima, Dayton, and in Cincinnati. We also have 86 in Columbus. Over here we have 84 in Akron, 80 in Steubenville, and we're seeing 84 in Athens right now. For our hourly forecast, pretty soon at 7 o'clock, we are going to be seeing 80 degrees, partly cloudy. We'll have a 3% chance of rain, and at midnight tonight, we'll be seeing 71 degrees, mostly cloudy, and then we'll have a 5% chance of rain. At 10 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning, we'll be seeing 76 degrees, partly cloudy, and a 3% chance of rain. That's all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
The Ravenna City Fire Department plans to honor the memory of September 11th by building a memorial. The department will build a memorial designed around a section of steel beam from the World Trade Center. The department received the section in 2010, and now that 20 years have passed, Lieutenant Chris Singleton said it's time to use it in a memorial. The memorial is planned to be outside of the fire station and finished by September 11th of next year. In Akron's North Hill neighborhood, 3 children and 2 adults were killed in a house fire this past Monday, while 4 others were hospitalized. Firefighters responded to the blaze of flames at 12:50 a.m. Akron Fire Lieutenant Sierra Lash said that this was Akron's deadliest house fire since May of 2017. Dozens of neighbors crowded the scene, describing the family as friendly and kind people. Stanley Ford is currently standing trial for being accused of causing the fire.
Authorities believe that the body they pulled out of Lake Milton this morning belongs to a man who has been missing since October of 2020. Divers searched the waters off of the south side of the I-76 bridge yesterday at around 11:30 a.m. when they discovered the body. Investigators say it likely belongs to 27-year-old Iron Cannon of Akron, who was fatally shot last October in Wadsworth. So far, 7 people have been arrested in the case. An autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause of death and to confirm the identification.
You know, we'll be as safe as we can be.
COVID cases are exponentially rising here in Ohio. We'll break down the numbers and how local hospitals are being affected.
The FBI has declassified documents that offer new insight into the 9/11 terrorist attacks. The details when we return.
Against us, you will see me wearing a face covering.
And even with my face covered,
you will see me
as a son,
as a friend to everyone I meet,
as a fighter for change,
as a woman who stands up for what I believe in.
So join me in wearing a face covering
to help stop the spread of the coronavirus.
Because this is one small act of kindness that has the power to bring us all together.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Welcome back. Nearly 10,000 COVID cases have been reported across Ohio in the last 2 days. Our Marz Anderson has more on the statewide numbers and how it's affecting local hospitals. Hi, Marz.
That's right, Maddy. According to the Ohio Department of Health, there have been over 5,000 new COVID cases reported in the last 24 hours with the addition of 232 hospitalizations. Now, as you take a look at your screen, at the numbers on your screen, there have been over 1 million reported cases since the start of the pandemic, with over 68,000 hospitalizations as well. As I stated earlier, there was about 232 new hospitalizations in the last 24 hours, with a total of over 68,000. There have been no new deaths reported in the last 24 hours. I'm happy to definitely report that, but since the start of the pandemic, over 21,000. Now, thing just went completely going. Oh, Jesus. All right, well, we have a story for you guys from CNN.
You know, we'll be as safe as we can be.
More students are returning to in-person learning this week, some after a year and a half of being away from the classroom. Among those, students in New York City, where teachers return Monday facing a vaccine mandate. By September 27th, they are required to show proof of having had at least one dose of coronavirus vaccine. Meanwhile, in Georgia, some students are going back to remote learning after an increase in COVID cases. This comes as the healthcare system struggles to treat new cases despite an increase in vaccinations since earlier this summer. 26 states have more than half of their residents fully vaccinated, and the total U.S. population is more than 50% fully vaccinated. But some hospitals are still filling up with unvaccinated COVID-19 patients. This all comes as President Biden is set to announce new measures in the international fight against the pandemic.
And there will be more actions that we continue to work on in the days ahead, especially on the global front, where we'll be taking steps and the President will be making announcements ahead of the UN General Assembly about additional measures that we're taking to help vaccinate the world.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Welcome back, everyone. I know you've been waiting for these hot weather updates, but simmer down because I have them for you right now. This time we're going to be starting with the northeast temperatures in Ohio. So right now we're seeing 78 in Sandusky and Cleveland. We have 85 in Mansfield, Ohio, and in Worcester. We're seeing 83 in Canton, Kent, and over here in Youngstown, and then up in the corner here in Ashtabula, we have 74. Our radar for today, we don't have much on the radar today, but we do have a big storm up here over Lake Erie, which shouldn't affect us, but it could hit Ashtabula County later tonight. For our second hourly forecast, we have tomorrow morning. At 11 a.m. we'll have 80 degrees, partly cloudy, and a 7% chance of rain. At noon we'll be seeing 81 degrees, mostly cloudy, and a 6% chance of rain. And at 6 p.m. we have mostly cloudy, 83 degrees, and a 10% chance of rain at that point. And finally, for our 7-day forecast, today we have 83, we'll be seeing 67 at night, partly cloudy. Tuesday we have a high of 85, 66 at night, also partly cloudy. Wednesday we're going to be seeing thunderstorms throughout the day, high of 70, so we're getting lower, and 55 at night. Thursday we'll have a high of 79, 61 at night, partly cloudy. And on Friday, similar, 82. We'll have 63 at night, and it's going to be a little bit cloudier on Friday. And for the weekend, we'll be in the 80s with some thunderstorms on Saturday. That's all I have in my forecast for today. Be sure to tune in next Monday so you can prepare for next week. With TV2, I'm Alexa Blakely.
Thanks, Alexa. U.S. Capitol Police say they arrested a man Monday morning with multiple knives in his truck. The weapons were covered in white supremacist symbols, including a swastika. Police pulled over 44-year-old Donald Craighead of Oceanside, California, where they noticed a bayonet and machete in his car, both of which are illegal in the District of Columbia. Law enforcement officials are preparing for the upcoming right-wing rally in Washington, D.C. this Saturday.
The demonstration that's scheduled for September 18th, just the intelligence information that we're aware of and a little bit about our operational plan, about what we plan to do.
Have you requested that the fence be up?
Yeah, yes.
Has that been approved yet?
Yes.
When will it go up?
The fence will go up a day or two before, and if everything goes well, it'll come down very soon.
That was Chief Thomas Manger speaking of the Capitol Police in Washington, D.C. as they prepare for another rally in support of those arrested at the January 6th insurrection. Officials say that they plan to reestablish temporary fencing around the Capitol building a few days prior to this Saturday's rally. Law enforcement is bracing for potential unrest as more right-wing protesters voice support for the rally and as counter-protests are being planned for the same day.
I urge you to support our flash appeal for $606 million to get urgent assistance to 11 million people in the next 4 months. Today, we are announcing a $20 million allocation from the UN Central Emergency Response Fund to support the humanitarian operation in Afghanistan.
The United Nations allotted $20 million to providing humanitarian operations in Afghanistan. The UN Secretary General announced the allocation at the global conference this past Monday. UN agencies and non-governmental officials have now launched an appeal seeking $606 million. The appeal is to provide relief to roughly 11 million people still seeking help from the collapse of their country.
Newly declassified documents show the FBI has discovered evidence suggesting the Saudi government may have been involved in the 9/11 terrorist attacks. CNN's Brianna Keller reports.
The FBI releasing a newly declassified document with more information about the September 11th terrorist attacks. It's the first of several expected to be released since President Joe Biden ordered a declassification review of the investigation earlier this month. The heavily redacted report from 2016 details the FBI's probe into suspected Saudi government support for the 9/11 hijackers. This includes whether a Saudi consular official and a suspected Saudi intelligence agent provided logistical support to at least 2 of the men who hijacked planes on 9/11. According to the document, the FBI interviewed an employee of the Saudi consulate in Los Angeles in 2015. The person, whose name was redacted, said he was in contact with Saudi nationals suspected of providing support to the first 2 9/11 hijackers to arrive in the United States. The Saudi government has denied any government involvement in the attacks. The FBI released the 16-page document on the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, just hours after Biden attended memorial services in New York City, Pennsylvania, and at the Pentagon.
These memorials are really important, but they're also incredibly difficult for the people who are affected by them.
On September 3rd, the president signed an executive order directing the Justice Department and other federal agencies to release declassified documents over the next 6 months. This move fulfilling one of Biden's campaign promises, and it comes after pressure and scrutiny from some families of 9/11 victims. Some even telling the president he would not be welcome at any memorial events unless the documents were declassified. Before the release, former Defense Secretary Leon Panetta said he was pleased with Biden's decision to order the declassification review, but he's doubtful it will provide the closure that many families are looking for.
I think that the families of the victims are entitled to know the whole truth of what was involved and who was involved when it came to 9/11. I suspect that they're not going to get the kind of satisfactory answers about the role of Saudi Arabia with regards to this attack.
Jeopardy returns for its 38th season tonight. Find out how you can root for a historic hometown hero.
Kent State football had an amazing game this past Saturday. I have your Monday night sports report after the break.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hello everyone, I'm Mergen, and this is your TV2 Sports Report. What an exciting weekend we had for sports, lots of football, so let's jump right into it. The Kent State football team had its first home game this past weekend, and what a day it was to be a Golden Flash fan. What a performance. Let's take a look at these plays. Look at Flash all pumped up for the game, and here comes the team for the home opener. Kent State looking to pick up a big win, and the Flashes are off to a hot start against the VMI Cadets. Crum throws a dot to Cephas to the 1-yard line. What a start for the Flashes, and now Marquez Cooper on the next play over the goal line for the score. Touchdown Flashes, they take the early lead, and then on the next play, Crum breaks away for a big run of his own. Look at Crum take off for the score. Flashes dominating in this one. Now Crum on the next play flips it to Johnson, and this is going to be great blocking by the Flashes for the easy score as he gets to the outside and puts up another 7 as the Flashes take a 21-0 lead here in the game. Now the Cadets looking down the field, trying to get back in this game, and Montre Miller says, "Give me that," and the Flashes take over. Dustin Crum now with the check down to Johnson. Puts on the moves, makes a man miss, and that will be Johnson's second touchdown of the game. And then VMI now looking to get on the board as Jerry Rice sends this kick up, and it is going to be good for the first 3 points for the Cadets in this game. And then VMI later on in the game, driving, now here late, throws one up to the end zone, and here is picked off by Montre Miller again, picks off Colin Ironside, and then Dustin Crum hands the ball off to Bangda, who sheds the tackle and takes it to the house for the dagger in this game. The Flashes dominated this game and beat the Cadets with a final score of 60-10 to close out their home opener. Now moving over to the pros, the NFL is back, and that means Browns football. Let's take a look at their matchup from this past weekend. Browns holding on to a late lead here in the fourth. Here's Kareem Hunt, bounces to the outside and fights over the goal line for the score. Touchdown Browns, and now Patrick Mahomes doing Mahomes-type things, gets out of the pocket, looks downfield, and throws up to a prayer to none other than Tyreek Hill, and he's winning that foot race every single time. Burns Johnson to cut the Browns lead to 29-27 late in the fourth. And then a key mistake by the Browns opened the door for the Chiefs down the stretch. A muff punt led to a Travis Kelce score to give the Chiefs the lead. And then a minute left, Baker leading his team down the field, drops back, evades in the pocket, and he throws an interception. It's intercepted by Mike Hughes, and that will do it. The reigning AFC champs win at home against the Browns to start their season with a final score of 33-29. And that's all I have for sports. I'm Mergen, and make sure to tune to Sports Corner tonight at 8 p.m.
The world-famous Harlem Globetrotters are returning to Cleveland this winter with an all-new tour. We have the details on how to get your tickets.
And the lucky iPhone number 13 is expected to be unveiled tomorrow. Hear what other tech the announcement may have in store when TV2 returns.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So. I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Thanks for sticking with us. This Medina native is the third richest contestant in regular gameplay winnings in the history of Jeopardy! Who is Matt Amodio? The 2009 Medina High School valedictorian has won 18 straight games and hopes to make it 19 on the season 38 premiere of the classic game show. So far, Amodio has won over $570,000 in his winning streak, which is the 5th longest in Jeopardy! History. You can root for or try to keep up with Amodio when Jeopardy! Premieres tonight at 7:30 on Channel 19. Now that wraps up this semester's first edition of TV2 News. Thank you for tuning in.
Be sure to follow us on social media at KentWired and check out KentWired.com for updates on all those stories. I'm Gabby Jonas.
And I'm Maddy Haberberger. Have a wonderful week, Portage County, and we'll see you next Monday.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
Myth. I can party with people as long as they don't have symptoms. That myth is false. As we've seen, up to 40% of people who have COVID-19 are asymptomatic and can pass it on to others. So I'd recommend avoiding any social parties, especially indoor ones. If you want to try to socialize but reduce your risk, I'd recommend meeting outside in small groups, continuing to wear a mask, and socially distancing from others if you can. Then together, we can keep COVID-19 out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.